Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm sharing my best and my worst purchases of the past year. I'm a little bit late with this video, so apologies for that, but hopefully better late than never. So I hope you guys enjoy and let's get started. Before we get stuck in, I wanted to let you know that the Lunar New Year sales are upon us. So 24/7 have gone live with their Lunar New Year offer and it's 20% off your purchase. There's a whole landing page with everything included, but the selection is really good this year. So you have everything from S-Max coats included. You have the row featured this year as well, which I feel like the row is almost impossible to find at a good discount, so 20% off is amazing. There's Marc Jacobs, there's Chloe, there's Valentino, just so many amazing brands. I do have a whole blog post with all of my picks, so I'll link that below as well if you wanted to check it out, but definitely a good one if there was something on your wish list. So best purchases are first, and first up is my Louis Vuitton wallet, and this was actually a later purchase, so I got this towards the tail end of last year, but it's become an instant favorite for me. As soon as I got it, I switched into it, and I've not switched out of it. Like, it is so good. I've put away my Empreinte long wallet, which was my go-to wallet for quite a few years now, I'd say, but I was just getting, not tired of it, but I just didn't feel like it was as functional as it once was for me. So I was eyeing this up and I decided to take the plunge with it, and it's just the perfect long wallet, at least for me in like this stage of my life. And you know when you get an item and you're like, oh my god, like that is exactly what I needed. That's how I feel about this wallet. It's so simple, like there's nothing too fussy about it. It just has a big old long zip and then it opens up. I got it with the Beautiful Rose Ballerine lining, and it just has so many compartments, and I feel like it's so easy to keep my items organized. And whenever I open it up, like so much of my life I feel like is so chaotic, but I open this up and I'm like, oh, like everything is so neat, so organized, and it just makes me feel a bit better about my life. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. Like, I absolutely love it. So it's not even actually populated that much because I have been using a small little wallet for a smaller bag, but I basically take out the essentials, what I need, and then I keep this as my kind of standard go-to. And then when I switch back out into a large bag, then I just kind of repopulate this wallet. But you'll get the gist anyway. So I do have some cash in here. So this little slim pocket I keep for notes. It's the perfect size, keeps everything nice and crisp and neat. And then I do have a little zipper compartment for coins. I don't really have that many coins in there, to be honest. Very smooth zip, like it's just so seamless to use. And then I have just so many card slots for all my credit cards, my business cards, my rewards cards, just like everything. It's so good. You do have large pockets right there on either side of the back, and I have like random things in here, so I just have like extra rewards cards, little notes that I don't really know what else to do with. And then I was actually intending on using this compartment for receipts, but to be honest, I've not really had that many to use, but I will do if I ever need that. But it's so functional, it's so easy to see everything as well, and I just think it's fantastic. So if you are also after a long wallet and you just don't feel like you have enough compartments or organization, I would highly recommend. I also imagine this would be great for travel as well. But yeah, I've just been adoring this so much. I've been so happy with it, and it's just one of those things that I do feel like has actively made my life better, and I've just been over the moon happy with it. My next favorite is my Chanel O case, and I think I did speak about this quite a bit last year. I feel like it did make my favorites a lot, but it's just been such a delight. And I think this is another example of just the right piece at the right time for me. We did go on a lot of trips last year, and this came with me for every single trip. It's great to travel with because you can use it as like a little travel pouch. So I used it to store our passports, our money, like all the little documents that you have when traveling, boarding passes, that sort of thing. I would put it in my tote bag because I always travel with a tote bag, and then when I arrived at our destination, I just used it as a little clutch during day or night, and it just works so perfectly. I was able to make sure it was protected as well because I was carrying it in my hand luggage, and it was just so great. I got it in the grain leather, and it is actually very soft. So unlike the classic flap, it's not really structured or hard. You do have the grain leather, so it's white clean, but it's very soft and malleable, very comfortable to use. And it's just kind of fantastic, like really good. You have a little pocket right there at the back. I obviously got mine in the white, and it still looks good as new, like it has done very well. You have plenty of space for all your bits and bobs as well. Like if you did want to use this as a clutch, you can easily fit in, you know, a bit of makeup, your phone, cash, cards, like anything that you might need. I usually have a couple of things in here for Leo as well. It's just so great and I love it. And considering that so much of Chanel is just completely unaffordable at this point, I do feel like this presents quite a nice option, which is still slightly in the realms of affordability, and it's just lovely. You have the Chanel logo there, but it's nothing kind of too flashy or crazy, and I just love it. Next up is my Louis Vuitton Capucine bag, and this has just been such a delight, and I've gotten so many messages and comments about this bag, particularly on Instagram. Lots of people messaging me saying, did I miss the unboxing? No, I didn't actually do an unboxing or a reveal for this bag. I meant to, but I got it just before Christmas and I just haven't had a chance to. But I have been using it an absolute ton and I absolutely love it. So I did get this one pre-loved. It's not in pristine condition, so there was some denting in the leather, which made me a little bit hesitant. I didn't know whether I should hold out for something that was pretty much perfect, but I got it for a pretty good price. I got it for, I think it was a little bit over £1,700. So considering the condition, like I am really, really happy with that price, especially considering how much it goes for retail, which is kind of crazy. I think it's currently like 5,500, something like that, which is pretty much Chanel level. So I don't know whether I'd be willing to pay that much for it, but considering the price, I just been like so happy with it. It's way more functional than I thought it would be as well, and I think the beauty of getting something which isn't quite perfect when you get it is that it really eliminates the whole fear of using it because you don't want to ruin something new and so expensive and pristine. I obviously got it for a cheaper price and there was already like a little bit of wear to it, so it just kind of gave me permission to use it a ton. And I have been like, this has been my go-to style. I've used it every single opportunity that I could, and I've just fallen more and more in love with it. So I've been a huge fan of it. The quality is beautiful, even though you can see, you know, over time the structure does get a bit affected. The leather does dent a little bit. Even despite that, I think it is a beautiful style. It does have the feet on the bottom there. I tend to leave it open quite a lot, but obviously you can tuck it in right there with a little strap. It actually stores my stuff right in it. So I have a little spa treatment leaflet. We went for a mini spa break, and then I have some hair accessories in here at the moment, but it is actually quite roomy as well. You have that nice pocket there at the back. You can also clip it closed right there too. Really beautiful pop of red lining. And it's just a really lovely style. It's not particularly lightweight, especially considering it isn't a huge style. Like, you can definitely feel the weight on it, but it feels substantial, you know? It just feels like a really beautifully made bag. I feel like it goes with absolutely everything as well. And this is a really nice size for me in that you can wear it as an evening bag, but I've also been wearing it during the day as well. You can easily wear this crossbody, I find, and yeah, I have just been really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the fact that I did also get it pre-loved as well, because as I said, it's just given me so much freedom with it, and it's just been a huge win for me. I'm not sure if I would feel the same way at 5,500, particularly if I had owned this from new and had begun to see this kind of wear. For me, if I'm spending that kind of money, I'd want the bag to pretty much look pristine forever if it could, as long as I took care of it. So I'd say if you're interested in it, then maybe go down the pre-loved route as well. But I've been really happy with my decision, really happy with the style, and yeah, just over the moon with this bag. Even though it was a late comer to the year, it's already kind of catapulted towards my favourites. And now for my Lady Dior bag. This has been such a firm favourite for me. Like, I absolutely love it, and I kind of marvel at how much I enjoy this bag, considering how much I didn't get along with my first Lady Dior, which was in the mini size. That one was much smaller, much more delicate in the lambskin, and just not a bag that was destined to be in my collection for a long time, whereas this, I kind of feel like it's the opposite. It's the grain leather, so much more durable. It is the larger size, so much more functional, and just better for me in every single way. I've really been enjoying it. It still feels like an insanely dressy bag, so it is very dressy, very special looking and feeling. You know, when I take it out, it feels like I'm carrying a fancy bag, but I really love it. And it's just kind of wonderful. Even the flap at the top there, which for me was a huge hindrance with the smaller style, it actually is so much more malleable and easy to access. You can fit in a decent amount. The strap is like a decent width as well. And it just has like a lot of tick boxes for me that I've really been enjoying. The only thing I would say that maybe goes against it for me is I would prefer if it was more like a shiny kind of maybe coated. I'm not really sure the finish on them, but the Chanel Classic flaps really feel very shiny and very kind of wipe clean. This one, I've not really gotten anything on it, so I can't speak to, you know, stains and marks, but it does feel like a matte grain leather, and I do wonder if it's going to be not quite as durable as the Chanel Caviar over time. And just generally, I think I'd prefer the feel of a shinier Caviar, but it's a minor point, and maybe they'll bring out another version in future. This one definitely has more of a matte feel to it, but despite that, I much prefer it to the lambskin, even just for peace of mind. I think I don't actually think you give up anything in terms of the look. So I'm still a huge fan. I love pretty much everything about it. I would happily have another color in my collection. Like, it really is gorgeous, and it's just been such a big lovely surprise for me this year. I've just been enjoying it so much. And then last but not least of favorites, I have my Demelier bag, which I absolutely love. I think this is so gorgeous. This is my first bag from the brand, and it's just completely won me over. Like, it is so nice. I think they're at a great price point as well. And I've just kind of been delighted with it. Like, I feel like it looks very smart, very elegant. The hardware is beautiful, which I really do think does a lot to elevate the overall style. And the only thing is, I would say that I love the straps because you can wear it so many different ways. You can wear it on the shoulder, cross body if you want to. But I do feel like they're a bit kind of crazy to store. Like, I always feel like it looks so messy when they're just kind of just sat there because there is so much strap. But it's a minor point because obviously it matters what it looks like when you're using it, and for me it's like a 10 out of 10 when I'm using it. I just love all the different options. The hardware is just so shiny and gorgeous, just oh, it's so beautiful, and I don't actually feel like it's scratched too much either. Like, it's just done really well. It just opens with a really nice clasp right there. And then the inside, really simple. It is a fabric lining, but because of that, it does feel quite lightweight. You do have the pocket right there at the front, pocket there on the back, and just the right combination of organization while still having that big wide open space not be compromised. So I have been a huge fan of this. I'm absolutely looking at other styles from them now. I have my eye on their beautiful tote bag. But certainly for me, this is like a bag brand to watch. I feel like they did a beautiful job with the style, and I've just been so crazy excited about this bag in general. Next up are my worst purchases, and this is a mix of bags that I'm going to kind of show in person, and also some bags which I just have photos of because I'm doing a big bag sale at the moment, or I'm prepping for my big bag sale, and some of the items are already packaged and I just don't want to undo all of my hard work. But I do have photos, so I will insert those where I don't have the physical item. So first up, my Chanel Classic flap in the small size in the navy, and there's nothing actually wrong with this bag, obviously, but for me, it was a poor color choice. I love the actual style. You can't go wrong with a classic flap, and I love the small size as well. I think it's a really underrated size, but I wanted a darker small classic flap. I was going to get the black one from the boutique. I went to London with the intention of, well, I went to London generally and I was going to pick one up then, but they didn't have it in stock. They told me to try back the next day, and the very next day they had a price increase, and I could not bring myself to spend that much more for the same bag, which 24 hours earlier was that much cheaper. So I began to look at the pre-loved market, saw this and thought, you know, perfect, you know, it's dark color, small size, exactly what I wanted, absolutely pristine, like new condition, just ticked all the boxes. But I have found that I don't really wear navy bags, and it kind of threw me because I wear a lot of navy. So I was like, okay, well, navy outfits, navy bag goes perfectly. But actually I find that even though I do wear a lot of navy, whenever I do wear navy, I don't wear a navy bag with my navy clothes. I wear a contrasting bag, and then I don't wear a navy bag the rest of the time. So I probably should have just paid the full retail price for a black one. But to be honest, I'm not even like mad at myself that I didn't, because it was just an insane thing to spend that much more literally 24 hours later. But this one sadly didn't work out for that reason. Nothing wrong with the bag, but a good lesson for me that actually shades and tones really do make a huge difference, and just because I wear a colour, it doesn't necessarily mean it will work in a bag form. Next up is my Jimmy Choo clutch, and this one is packed away very safely in a box, but I will insert photos of it. But This one is a classic example of a bag that would have worked perfectly for me pre-baby and very much does not work for me post-baby. So I found out this year that I need bags to be very slimline so I can fit them into tote bags. And otherwise, if I can't, then it needs to have some kind of strap, because when you're carrying a baby all the time, you don't have a whole lot of extra hands to carry a cute little clutch with you. So any clutches that you do have need to be slimline. They need to be able to be kind of slotted in other places, or otherwise you do need a strap, or at least I do anyway. Something that wouldn't have occurred to me on that similar note, if you do have a new baby and you are planning a little getaway, do not go for a floor length beach cover up. Another mistake I made. You absolutely need things which are shorter, because you can't lift your skirt up at the same time while descending up and down stairs. When you have a baby, it's very tricky. But that's beside the point. Lots of lessons learned this year. This bag, so cute, nice size as well, because it does fit in a ton of items. Has that beautiful raffia, has the leather trim, but I just could not carry it and manage it with Leo in my arms. I was constantly carrying him. When I first took this on a holiday, he wasn't walking yet, so I was always carrying him. He didn't like his travel stroller either. And because this was so like large and sizable as well, like it just didn't easily go under my arm. It was a bit chunky to put in with the stroller and it just didn't work. So I took that bag with me to Greece, and I don't think I took it out one time with me. I just used my Chanel O case the whole time, or otherwise I brought a little crossbody with me. So lesson learned, would have been great for me before Leo, but now that I have Leo, I just don't think it's a goer. And then the bag, which is safely packaged up, is my Fendi Peekaboo Petite. And this one pains me because I feel like my experience with the Peekaboo line is just like a roller coaster, because I love, love, love the line, but I just don't feel like I found the right one for me. I've gone through many iterations, different sizes, different colors, and I thought this one was kind of it because I just love it so much. But I always love the Peekaboo line, but this is too small for me. I'm at the stage in my life where I have a lot of stuff and I need to carry things, and it's just too small for me to make work. It's very petite. You can technically fit your phone in, but it either peeks out from the top, or otherwise you have to unbutton the sides, and even then, like, there's not a ton of room for other items. And I do feel like this bag is kind of gaining popularity. Like, I've seen a lot of celebrities with it recently, and I always think it looks so, so good, but I just need it to be like that much bigger. So I am selling it with the idea of getting another style from Fendi. I feel like one of these days I am going to stumble across the right size. I haven't decided between the mini and the small size. I do want to try these on. I don't want to try and order online because I just feel like it's going to lead to kind of more returns, more selling. But I hope to get a Peekaboo one day that's going to work. For me, too small to be functional. I knew it was small when I got it, but I just kind of talked myself into it, thinking that, oh, I'll make it work. But I just don't think I'm at the point in my life where I want to make things work anymore. So sadly, very beautiful, so beautiful in fact, but just too small for my needs at the moment. And last but not least, I do have my Cartier jewelry. So I kind of got this as a matching set. So I have the necklace and also the bracelet. And even though I didn't get this last year was the year that I properly tried to like make these pieces work. But this really kind of emphasized to me that just because something is a more expensive version of an item doesn't mean that it's going to be better for you. I have something very similar from Monica Vinader. They also do a kind of little diamond solitaire line, so I also have the bracelet and the necklace from them, and I just wear those so much more. And these are beautifully made, very, very pretty, but very, very dainty, too dainty for the look that I was going for, and I just prefer my Monica Vinader ones in every single way, and for the money, that shouldn't be the case. So for me, like, you know, they are lovely pieces. You do have that little kind of gold casing as well, so it is done beautifully, and the packaging is just so luxurious and fancy. But in terms of items that I actually reach for on a daily basis, I often use these as layering pieces, and whenever I decided between this one or my Monica Vinader pieces, I just prefer the slightly chunkier version of the Monica Vinader. I maybe think that you can get larger size of these, probably not still the same size as my Monica Vinader ones, but they are like dramatically more money. And for me, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, I love my other jewelry pieces so much. I've gotten pretty much nowhere out of these, and just like a really good lesson for me that just because something's more expensive, it doesn't mean that it's better for you. So that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what your best and worst purchases of the past year were. I would love to hear about it. I'm sure other people would as well. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.